All right, new playoff rankings dropped tonight. Heather, top four.
Number one, I have Oregon. Sorry, Alabama fans, but if you look at resume, to me, Oregon's is better. Yes, Alabama has the best win in the country right now over Mississippi State, but when you look at what Oregon did, which the committee will do, they have wins at Utah, which is still ranked, home against Michigan State, which is still ranked, at UCLA, still ranked, and then number two, I've got Alabama because of what they just did, big win. Number three, Mississippi State, head-to-head, right behind Alabama. Their only loss in the country right now is to Alabama. And number four, Florida State. Sorry, I know you're undefeated, but still looking vulnerable, still finding a way to win. But I would not count those Noles out when they've got Jameis Winston at quarterback. And they are still undefeated. They're definitely a top four team. They're just not my number one.
I like that. Controversial pick right there
Absolutely.
to have, you know, undefeated Florida State at number four. Let's talk more about Bama and Oregon, though. How close was it? You mentioned why Oregon number one, but was it close?
Very close, yes, because if you look at the eye test, there's no question Alabama is one of the best teams in the country now, if not the best. They've got a terrific resume, but in looking at their resume, Carrie, Mississippi State, with the exception of the win over Mississippi State, every other team that they have beaten now, every other one has at least 4 losses. You can't say that about Oregon. Michigan State has 2 losses. Utah has the most with 3 losses. UCLA only has 2 losses. I think that that's what puts Oregon ahead of Alabama in my mind right now.
And that's a great point, and especially LSU after losing ugly to Arkansas 17-0. That doesn't help Alabama in terms of
They're
their
not even
record.
in the rankings anymore.
Absolutely. Okay, Mississippi State, as you mentioned, they dropped only to number 3 ahead of Florida State. Now, why is Mississippi State still ahead of the undefeated Noles?
Because when you look at Florida State, this is at the end of the night, tonight, when the selection committee puts out its rankings, I would be very surprised to see Clemson and Notre Dame still in there. Louisville has fallen out. To me, that means that when you look at the entire body of work, Florida State will not have any wins against ranked opponents. And I spoke recently with Bill Hancock, the executive director of the College Football Playoff, and he told me that the committee considers rankings both past and present. So they're going to look at, yes, Notre Dame was ranked at the time that they played, so was Clemson. I get that. The committee is going to consider that. But they are also going to consider the fact that Clemson and Notre Dame are likely to drop out of the rankings, and there's no escaping the fact that that's going to hurt Florida State's resume.
Absolutely. All right, TCU you have at number 5, so they're on the outside looking in. Baylor also out there. Any way the Big 12 finds itself in the playoffs?
Of course, yes. There's a great chance. TCU and Baylor will both have to win out. Bill Hancock has said that the conferences will tell them, the selection committee, who their champions is. If it's a co-champ, the committee will consider that, but I would think it would be extremely hard to justify come December 7th having TCU ahead of Baylor, considering that head-to-head. So I think Baylor would get the nod as the Big 12's best team. And then Ohio State has to win out, and they have to have Wisconsin win out, look good in the process, be a highly ranked team, because then Ohio State would have a great win in the Big Ten title game to really make their case too. So I think TCU, Baylor, Ohio State, all bubble teams that really still have a great shot.
So the Buckeyes, so out of these teams, do the Buckeyes have a better shot than the Big 12? The Big 12 teams?
I think they do, because now they have 2 wins over ranked opponents. They've got the win over Minnesota, which probably will fall out of the committee's rankings tonight, but they also have that big win against Michigan State on the road, which was very impressive. And you look at the eye test, we mentioned JT Barrett, the way he's been playing, the way that offensive line has been playing. And the committee has set a precedent. They forgave Oregon's home loss against Arizona because of those injuries to the offensive line. They've got to do the same thing with Virginia Tech. Ohio State lost to Virginia Tech in week 2. JT Barrett's first home game as a starter. The injury to Braxton Miller could have changed their season drastically. Because of Barrett, they're still in a position to win the Big Ten title game. The only difference between the Arizona and Virginia Tech losses is what's gone on to happen to those 2 teams. Arizona's a top 15 team, and Virginia Tech clearly not. Now, Ohio State got a little bit of a boost because Virginia Tech somehow miraculously found a way to beat Duke this week and change the Coastal Division picture a little bit. But I do think that they set a precedent. They consider injuries. Should Ohio State go on to win the Big Ten in convincing fashion against a ranked Wisconsin team, they would have to forgive that loss to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and as you mentioned with the ambiguous eye test, right now Ohio State certainly looks like a pretty good team.
No doubt about it. If there were two teams that I would say Florida State should be very leery of come the national title game, the 4-team playoff, it would be Alabama and Ohio State as far as matchups. I think that those would be the two toughest teams for Florida State to escape in the top 4.